With this, we move on to our next panel discussion, which is on the state of districts. And let me now invite Mr. Bhushan Mohan, who is Senior Fellow with SKOCH Development Foundation and former Principal Consultant with National E-Governance Division, Ministry of Electronics and IT. He is a veteran and a visionary leader in the area of management and information technology with a focus on implementation of large IT-based projects which deliver benefits to the common man. At NeGD, he was responsible for formulation of policies, guidelines, and strategy for implementation of National E-Governance Program with a vision to bring public services within the reach of every citizen. With this, I invite Mr. Bhushan Mohan to take over and moderate the panel discussion on state of districts.
Good morning to all of you. It's really a pleasure to be associated with SKOCH and to participate in really these very, very interesting discussions which go on. The topic given is on the state of the districts. As we are all aware, districts and district administration are really the key to the Aam Aadmi, common man. Most of the services, the welfare, the day-to-day needs are really taken care by the district administration. It is they who really take care of the regular services in whatever form, from wherever it is, they provide it to the citizens. And they really play a very, very important part in improving the quality of life of the common citizen. Really looking into that, Government of India had actually brought in the project called E-District, in which various services to be provided by various departments were all consolidated and provided through the E-District system. And that has been a great success, and it has been going on, and it has really matured into a very, very effective citizen delivery system. Districts are also responsible of providing two very, very important areas to the citizen. One is the health and other is education. I think these two, and along with it, the basic infrastructure, which goes into the employment and welfare of the citizens. And I know most of you in the panel today, we have the leading persons from the district administration who will be talking about what they have done. And we would really like to know as to the innovative measures that they have taken in their own area, provide the better services to the citizen, and possibly what all they are doing, especially in the area of the health right now, with COVID third phase coming with Omicron and the numbers increasing, especially in the metros. Delhi and Bombay have really increased like anything, but the other cities and other places would also be increasing. So let us have something on that. Let me first call Ms. K. Radhika Aiyar, District Magistrate Elector from Bankura. She has been the Additional District Magistrate for Land and Revenue Management at Midnapur East, Joint Secretary, Under Secretary, and Subdivisional Officer at Kalimpong. She takes keen interest in handloom and handicrafts from the rural India. Working in Bankura, she has taken various initiatives for the development at the district level led by her. Bankura is heading towards a developed district. Mrs. K. Radhika Aiyar, please.
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, ma'am. I'm Radhika Aiyar from District Magistrate, Bankura. I'll be talking about my project, Convergence for Efficient and Effective utilization of dry and fallow land of Bankura. I would like to introduce regarding my the key features of my district. Bankura district of West Bengal is situated in the western part of Bengal. The district has 22 blocks. The geographical location of the district with undulated terrains have been a drawback. There have been large tracts of fallow lands in this district, which has triggered issues of unemployment, poverty, and malnourishment, which is high in our district vis-a-vis the state average. But we have a very hardworking and abundant labor in this district, which we have used to our advantage in this project. The district administration has built on this advantageous factor, and we have overcome the challenges of this large tracts of fallow land, unemployment, poverty. The journey was not easy. We had to first plan. We had to do intensive planning for our large fallow and dry lands. The challenge was the identification of mapping of such dry and fallow lands. This was done with the assistance from local governance. We had hand-holding training with the local panchayats. To be brought into confidence. We had also given them intensive training on convergence of our existing schemes like MGNREGS, ARD, and intercropping, horticulture, pisciculture. Many other schemes that were converged, sericulture were converged, and we had there were grassroots challenges because this was previously a left-wing extremist region where there were revolts against government initiatives. But all the inhabitants, they were brought under confidence through multiple meetings, entry point activities, integrated natural resource management interventions. Entry point activities were ensured around forest, land, and water resources around the inhabitants. So we have applied managerial efforts to plan and execute works under the convergence project. It was we have been able to give alternative source of livelihood to around 40,000 of our people, and from through pisciculture, agriculture, and horticulture, other non-farm related activities. So through that, we had more than 10,000 families have been benefited, and around 1 crore income got generated through self-help groups. We were engaging self-help groups also, women self-help groups, and more than 4,500 acres of land till now we have brought, which were totally barren. We had brought it under cultivation through intercropping, through plantations, giving them water resources, like we had built hapas, around 35 to 40 feet deep hapas we had built for water conservation. So as in that, we had also benefited in a collateral, we had a benefit that we have been working with our, there is a Kangsabati Milk Union farmers, which had around 10,000, it's like Amul only in our district. So which had around 10,000 dairy farmers. So they did not have, many of these farmers have very small tracts of land, which they cannot use it for cultivating grass feed for their cattle. So so generally in summertime, they have a lot of grass feeds in government lands and in the wayside of roads that they can give to the cows, and they can have better feed in those months. But during winters, we had seen that the milk productivity and the quality of milk goes down, and we are not able to generate that much of income for our farmers. So with this, with the utilization of barren and the dry lands, we had given them plantation under MGNREGS. We had planted the hybrid variety of Napier, which can sustain under very, very low quantity of water. They do not require much of maintenance, and we had grown it in the fringes of our dry and barren lands. And we had also given them ownership of, we had tagged them to each of the farmers, dairy farmers, and they would take their cattle to graze in those those areas, and that had increased the productivity. Now they are having very good quality of milk, The quantity has also stabilized. And now we are also selling it on Amazon. And per week, we are getting a demand for the ghee of Kangsabati milk ghee under the Kangsabati brand. We are having around 10 to 15 bottles per week. So this has increased the income of these people also by utilizing a very dry and barren land. So we have utilized our resources to the maximum extent, I would like to say. And we have worked on our SWOT, so strength, weaknesses, and opportunities and threats to make the best use of the resources which are available in the so-called less developed district of Bankura. So through this, we have, this is one aspect of the Kamul farmers getting benefited. We are also working on malnutrition. Maximum we had, because of COVID, we were not able to do the measurement of our children in ICDS centers. But in July, we had taken this, we had done the measurement of our children, and we had found that maximum children from these areas, this dry and barren area subdivision of our district, they had been found to be malnourished, and they did not have the right amount of nutrition and the supplements, because their parents were not able to give them the amount of support, because they were always engaged in other activities. They were engaged in their, they could not concentrate on giving them one additional egg or one additional fortified product each day, and they could not concentrate on breastfeeding also. Their mothers were always engaged in other their livelihood issues more than taking care of their children who were not having the right nourishment. So now we are also planning to grow fortified items in our barren areas, which are barren tracts of lands, and we are tagging SHG women along with that, so that it will be grown, and they would also have the processing units, the fortification of pushti packets. They will be processing units also, we are setting it up, and they will be owned by the SHG women, and they have been trained, and they will be giving it, they will be having on the spot feeding for the children, malnourished children. So this is also one aspect where we are reaching out through our resources to solve the local problem. So I'll just, other than that, there are other, like we are now setting up a mango pulp processing unit also, because we had last year we had grown mangoes, and we have a lot of good productivity also. So we have started placing mango pulp processing unit. Mango has this harvesting period of 3 to 4 years. So in that period of time, when in the lean time, they will be used to make tomato juice, they will be bottled, and all these things are being set up. Food processing units are also being set up in the these tracts of land, so that it can be well utilized and we can generate productivity. So thank you, SKOCH, for giving us an opportunity to represent our project at a national level.
Thank you, madam. It has really been an excellent learning of what all you have done out there, especially taking care of the nourishment of children and using the barren land and in the cultivation. I think this really goes to the root of our society. You really helped. Thank you very much. Continue with your good work. Now, let us go ahead to from the rural area to an urban area. Let me call Mr. Sandip Janardan Sagale. He is the from Ahmedabad. As an important link between the government and people, Mr. Sagale is known to take strict actions, whether it is owner of the government lands, clear the illegal occupation, or to handle issues of Sabarmati river pollution. He directed the Gujarat Pollution Control Board officials to work out the working plan in coordination with the Ahmedabad Municipal Corporation to resolve the issue. He's also behind another important decision to provide state transport facility to the interior part of the district in anticipation of the third wave. Mr. Sandip, Janardan.
Good morning, sirs. Good morning, ma'ams. Thank you, SKOCH, for giving this opportunity. Right now, we are on verge of third wave, and our project is related exactly with this third wave. The project called Bal Kavach, which was started by Ahmedabad district, first time in the state. Actually, Ahmedabad was badly hit by COVID first wave and second wave. So during peace time, that is when COVID cases started deepening, we started working hard for the third wave. Be it ramping up our capabilities to fight with COVID, be it isolation beds, oxygen beds, ventilators, PSA generation plants, oxygen storage capacity. Along with that, we took a proactive action rather than a reactive action to protect our children, which were apprehended by experts that third wave will hit children also because they are not vaccinated. So we started planning on this line, but challenges were big since this lot was 4,19,000. It was not possible to reverse quarantine all of them. So we decided to go by their immunity compromised health system. We surveyed them. We surveyed initially 0 to 5 years children and then 5 to 18 years children. Initially, the 1,59,000 children of 0 to 5 years age were screened, and then 6 to 18 were screened. The modalities were that initially ASHA and Anganwadi workers surveyed house to house in their respective catchment area. They screened primarily for temperature, SpO2 level, whether there is difficulty in breathing, throat pain, or they are suffering from critical diseases like heart, kidney, cancer, HIV, TB, diabetes, like that. After, along with this medical checkup, we also mapped social vulnerability, whether they lost their parents during this COVID pandemic. So that gave us added advantage when the benefits later on were transmitted to them, whether it be it PM Care Funds or a scheme launched by Honorable Chief Minister Bal Seva Yojana. So then out of this 4,19,000 children of 0 to 18 years, 25,277 were identified for second screening by RBSK team, which include doctors. They also screened their temperature, SpO2 level, along with that critical diseases like heart problem, kidney, cancer, HIV, TB, diabetes. They were also checked for their malnourishment, like severely acute malnourishment, moderately acute malnourishment. And after confirmation by RBSK team, not only they were surveyed, but they were treated, and some of them are under treatment right now also. So we took care that their immune system is not down when COVID third wave surges. So out of this 0 to 5 years, children who were identified as high-risk children, out of 1,296 children, treatment is completed of 861. 430 are still under treatment. For some children, they were admitted in CMTC, that is Child Malnourishment Center, or NRC, and according to their medical complication and appetite test, they were treated. 44 which do not have medical complications were treated at local level, that is community-based management, at Anganwadi and PSC centers. And MAM, that is moderately acute malnourished children, 367 were treated in, and all of them are now okay. For birth defects like congenital heart diseases, cleft lips, clubfoot, congenital deafness, we treated them. Some of them are under treatment. Out of 181 congenital heart diseases, we operated already 123. 58 are on medical treatments. Clubfoot, all 20 are operated. Club left palate and lip, 17 operated. For congenital deafness, 4 operated out of 10, and 6 are under treatment. Like this, deficiencies, anemia and vitamin D deficiencies were also treated. Diseases like skin disease, otitis media, dental caries, convulsion, even TB and ARSRE are being treated. Some of them have completed their treatment. For development and delayed disabilities like neuromotor impairment, hearing impairment, one treatment is already completed. Speech delay, congenital delay, all are being treated. Other diseases like cancer, renal failures, and liver transplant were also done. In liver transplant case, one case is successfully treated. Out of 8 cancer patients, 6 are treated, 2 are under treatment. For renal deficiencies, defects, 5 treatments are already completed out of 9, and 4 are under treatment. For 6 to 18 years, 692 children, treatment of 362 is already completed, like I said earlier, and 330 are under treatment. This also includes congenital heart diseases, congenital deafnesses, deficiency treatments like anemia, diseases like skin diseases, TB, all of 7 are under treatment. In development delay and disabilities, hearing impairment, all 4 are treated. Autism treatment is completed. Speech delay, congenital delay, all are being treated now. For other diseases like cancer, renal failure, renal defects, most of them are already treated successfully. So along with this screening and treatment plan, we also mapped social vulnerability. Those children who lost both parents, 845 such children were identified earlier during survey. So out of these, 69 children who lost both are getting now 4,000 per month under Bal Seva Yojana. 776 children who lost single parents are getting 2,000 per month right now. So out of 4,19,000 plus children, we identified high risk 1988 high risk children whom now we can reverse quarantine or isolate as and when situation arises. We are keeping one-to-one tracking of them by our RBSK team. The main aim is to reduce morbidity and mortality of these high-risk children. The tertiary care will is being also taken care of under PMJAY and Bal Sakha Yojana, which is state-specific scheme. We have also developed 250 pediatric beds in our COVID hospitals for these pediatric children, so that we can treat them early. To strengthen our initiative, we also developed a web portal called Ashish. Now, this Ashish, that is Ahmedabad approach to strengthen health information system, is developed by BIOSAC. BIOSAC is the institute which is developing our Gati Shakti portal of Government of India, and very renowned institute. This Ashish portal is developed based on all in-house technologies as geospatial and web-based GIS. this portal is capable of functioning as spatial decision support system for the district. By this system, now we can now monitor our high-risk children, not only this high-risk children, but all the comorbid peoples above of all age groups. We do have with us all contact details and full address villages at our fingertips of 0 to 18 years children, as well as high risk diseases, those who are having high risk diseases like cardiac, TB, diabetes, cancer, renal. We can at our fingertips can know in which person is having diabetes, which person is having hypertension. If we want to see which person is having diabetes, hypertension, and cardiac problem, that line listing also is with us, so that we can monitor and immediately take actions for this purpose. This portal we are using for vaccination also, and I'm glad to say that we have crossed 111% first dose vaccination and 113% in second vaccination. Due to this portal, we can monitor very easily village wise and PSC wise also, sub-center wise also. So all the stakeholders of health department, other departments are also being mapped in this portal. We can use this portal during the cyclone Taute also, where we could provide help to Taute affected persons and isolate them. So thank you very much, sir.
Sir, can you round up now, please? The
Yes.
time is short. Can you just round up?
So we are out right now on verge of third wave, and this peacetime hard work will definitely give us benefits in this third wave. Thank you very much, sir, for giving this opportunity, and I thank SKOCH Group.
Thank you very much, sir. You have really given an insight of the work which you are doing, especially health area, and really as you are taking to overcome or to take care of the third, which is just round the corner as far as the major cities are concerned. Wish you the best and all the best for people of your city that you're able to fight that all the. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Now move on to the next, Ms. Surya Kumari, District Collector and Magistrate of Vizianagaram. In her span, she has worked across the important events like revenue, land, industries, dairy, women development, child welfare, resettlement, and so on. Recently, being director of Civil Supplies Corporation, she was involved in distribution of essential commodities to 30% of the state BPL population. Within 1 year, she is saving approximately 300 crores by financial practices and introducing buybacks, sector stocks, and other special schemes during the streamlining of procurement systems and so on. Ms. A. Surya Kumari, may I now invite you to your place.
So, good morning, sir. Good morning, everybody. I thank you for the opportunity given to me by the SKOCH Group as well. And very good morning to all the panelists along. Sir, can I go ahead with the rice fortification first?
Yes, please.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Sir, as you have rightly pointed out in the beginning itself, it is 1 year old tested, and then I would briefly present the process involved in the fortification of rice kernel and then how it is blended, sir. We all know the fortified milk and oil, but the wheat and rice, which is the staple food for India, we are yet to fortify these two main foods by which we can actually achieve the problem of the severe anemia, which is actually escalating into the other health issues of the population, basically in the women and children. So this rice fortification is advocated by Ministry of Civil Supplies through the mandatory attempt made by on the direction of the Niti Aayog, which is received by Andhra Pradesh in the year of 2020. And since then, Vizianagaram being located in the North Andhra Pradesh, we have this severe anemic problem when compared to the country's average as well as the Andhra Pradesh state average. So this has been picked up as a pilot project, and in two projects we have, in two blocks, I would say, this has been introduced in April 2020, and next it was escalated to the entire district. Wherever the rice is procured, we all know that it is milled and then converted into paddy, is converted into rice in the mills. And after the, or rather during the milling process, a special kernel is added at the ratio of 1:100 into this rice that is milled. Along with that, this kernel is added as, at a homogeneous mixture, and then it is stored in the storage points, and after the maturation of the 6 to 8 months, it is provided to the safety net population of midday meal and Anganwadis, and mainly for the public distribution system card holders, wherein it is consumed as the major staple food. And this kernel is prepared out of a rice powder and mingled with the premix of riboflavin, iron, folic acid, and other nutrients as advocated by FSSAI. And that again is supplied to the millers, wherein at the last stage of the milling procedure, these kernels are added for achieving the uniformity, and then it is supplied as usual in the procedure, normal procedure. For the identification of the bag, the F+ logo is prominently displayed, and separate supply chain was organized for this proper maintenance of the baggage in the beginning. Now, after escalation to the entire population, that particular obstruction is absent in our system, but in the beginning, we had to do 2 parallel supply chain management systems and identification of bag, and we had to train all the stakeholders, the Anganwadi children, teachers who are cooking food, and then midday meal preparation participants, and then public representatives mainly, because the introduction of the kernel itself was in a negative manner by the public, because it was a misconception of the kernel was that it's a plastic rice, because the density of the kernel and density of the normal rice is something different. And once you add it to the water while washing it as a preparatory step for the cooking, these kernels would rise up. And then that was the main challenge for the acceptance. When you take the acceptance part of the project, that was the main problem. And then people started agitating that some plastic rice has been mingled with the general supply of the rice. And that had to make us run around and then give a lot of hand holding for the last rung of the person who is actually consuming it and preparing it, and also we had to rope in the health specialists, and also those who can actually make them accept, like their village elders. And we had to along with them, we had to sit down and then eat the same rice and make them believe that it is nothing prohibitory, nothing plastic in it, it is naturally made. And it has given a good result after all these measures, and then people started accepting it. The milling procedure being the continuous blending, when compared to the other models running in the Indian system, we found that it is cost effective and is not even taking 1/5 of the budget allocation, and we are able to produce it with ease and with little as upgradation of the mills involved. Even the normal mills which had been participating in the CMR process, that is custom milled rice procedure, they are able to come into this system of the fortification with investment less than 4 to 5 lakhs. They are able to come up, and I wouldn't say that all the mills have come up in Vizianagaram, but then 80% of them have upgraded themselves and started producing this. And now we are reaching a comfortable stage wherein we are able to give to the every, not only to within the district, but also to the outside the state also, I would say, moving to my previous assignment that was possible from Andhra Pradesh. We were giving to the Food Corporation of India the fortified rice, so that the other aspirational states also would be receiving it, and in the public distribution system, as well as wherever it is required in the midday meal or other places. So this modest pilot of 2 blocks has got escalated to statewide midday meal as well as Anganwadis. And I would say, due to COVID, though we were not able to rope in a proper and an acknowledged partner for testing the results, but however, we were able to do the baseline as well as the midline, and comfortable figures as promised by the previous studies were able to achieve. The anemia in the pregnant women who are consuming this continuously is substantially increased. Unless otherwise there is some other problem with their health, we are able to see a substantial rise in the kids and the women who are consuming this. And we have reached almost 1 year, near to 1 year in those 2 blocks. And by next June, we will be completing 1 year, and wherein we will be preparing for the final study of the blood samples, and then reach a proper presentation about what is the improvement after consuming this continuously without a break. This is a most satisfactory delivery from the civil supply side, I would say, which is actually effective in improving the health parameters of the district, because we have severe malnutrition, and owing to the other genetical factors in the within the district. This we're really hoping that it would make us come out of that factor, and then it would improve the general nutrition as well as this targeted group of kids and women as well. Sir, this is the brief presentation from my side, sir. Any questions I would...
Thank you. Excellent to take care of nutrition. I thank you very much.
Looks like Mr. Mohan is facing a connectivity issue. While Mr. Mohan resumes his connectivity, may I move on to invite our next speaker, Mr. Raghav Sharma, who is Deputy Commissioner from District Administration, Una. In addition to the good work probably that you have done, which was also evaluated by the SKOCH panel of experts, the districts have a very, very intense role to play as far as the development is concerned. When we say the state of development, the district actually becomes the first line of contact between the government and the citizen. So, you also would have faced in the recent times challenges. So how is it that the governance really, to your mind, has improved at the grassroots, and what are the residual challenges?
Morning to all the panelists.
Yes.
As Mr. Bhushan Mohan had highlighted, there were 3 things that the panel was going to discuss. One was about technology, then health and education. I've already made presentations of my projects, so just a brief on touching on these points. That one point that was highlighted by Sir was about e-district project. we are also implementing the e-district project in our district. And the e-district basically enables the citizen to get certificates or other documents issued from various authorities while applying for these certificates or documents from their homes without visiting the offices of different departments. And that's a very transformational project in the sense that we should be now moving towards reducing footfalls in our offices, bringing about faceless delivery, reducing discretion, which is there at the cutting edge of service delivery, whether it is our revenue officials or welfare schemes that we are implementing. We need to reduce the interaction so as to bring down the corruption that is there at these cutting edge levels, and also so that we move to platforms where we can monitor the time of service delivery. So if we talk about e-district itself, COVID-19 especially has given it a lot of emphasis on delivery of services without inviting citizens to their offices. And prior to COVID, we saw that a lot of people wanted to visit the offices and get their work done in a day. During COVID, when offices were closed, we moved on to this platform. And if I talk about my district has a population of around 5.75 lakhs. It's 1540 kilometer square area. It's a small district of the hilly state of Himachal. So if I talk about the figures here also in e-district terms, just taking the revenue department as a sample size, we get around 2,500 to 3,000 applications per week. And our emphasis now has been to sustain the momentum of use of this application. So we focus more on the average disposal time. We tend to keep it at 24 hours to 48 hours should be the turnaround time on any citizen application, so that we can sustain its use, build confidence in these systems for the citizens, and they continue to use it. And we have seen that with constant monitoring, we've been able to achieve that momentum. It is a good thing in times of pandemic where we don't want the crowds together. Also, it sustains a culture where our own officials and citizens are using these systems, and they are getting mainstreamed, and we are moving to a technology-led service delivery system as our primary mode of service delivery. So e-district is doing pretty good, and this is the way we should move forward in all service delivery applications of different departments. If we talk about the health department, the challenge of COVID was highlighted by one of the panelists also. In our district, we have already achieved 100% vaccination of the adult population over 18. This happened around 30th of November. Himachal was the first in the all of India to attain this for its entire adult population. Vaccine being a primary weapon against the new virus also. We have now started the vaccination for the 15 to 18 years of age group with the co-vaccine approved by the Government of India. Last 3 days, we have already done 60% coverage for these children. We are doing it in schools every day. As we speak, sessions are being organized. Our main emphasis has been on that, and there has been certainly an uptick in the cases. The positivity rate is now going up even here when we are sitting on the Punjab border. Our primary focus right now for building our health infrastructure between the second wave and this wave, we already knew that there is going to be an uptick somehow. It is a pattern with all the pandemics that 3, 4, 5 waves do come. And so we have prepared our infrastructure accordingly. During the first wave, we are a small district, so we started with 30 odd beds, and the district could manage within that. But in second wave, we faced that the bed capacity had to be enhanced. We enhanced it 10 times to 300. And right now we are beyond that. Also, we are prepared in terms of infrastructure. We already have 3 oxygen plants in the district, which were not there when we started this pandemic in 2020. Keeping in view the ongoing wave, which is going to surely affect us all, we are building our inventory of concentrators so that we are ready and we are not caught unaware This time around, at least on oxygen front, medical supplies and beds and ventilators, we are preparing our infrastructure for that, and we are ready for that. If we talk about education in Himachal, unlike other states where I have been to on different routes and all, we have good infrastructure. If we talk about government schools also, we have good infrastructure. We have almost 100% coverage in terms of basic facilities like toilets. Separate toilets for boys and girls are there in almost every school. So the real challenge for us right now is the quality of education. And that is where our focus is lying with the Samagra Shiksha Abhiyan, which is being implemented by the central government. I had the committee in the district for its implementation. And of course, during COVID, we are facing the challenges where schools have been opening on and off, and we have shifted to primarily the online education was the primary mode of education. But we have been able to monitor through different mechanisms. Again, the IT tools like WhatsApp. We never thought that WhatsApp would be used for more than messaging, but right now a lot of administrative work gets done over WhatsApp. It has increased the speed of communication also, and it's the WhatsApp groups over which this education material gets shared. The links for test get shared where the students are engaged over all these platforms. So we are using technology in times of COVID also to keep the students engaged. Our initiative, which is also part of the SKOCH Order of Merit, the UNA Super 50, is also part of that only, that we are training, we are giving coaching to government school students, 50 odd every year for higher education institutions like IITs and AIMS or medical colleges. These students are stationed here, but the teachers are somewhere else, and they connect through online modes, through tablets. These online classes get conducted, and the emphasis solely is to make use of technology on delivering good quality education to the students. Moving forward, our emphasis in the district is to create libraries. We are creating libraries in different parts of the district for competitive exam preparation, and there also we are looking forward to setting up two-way electronic media where students can interact with people who have succeeded in different services, take guidance from them wherever they may be sitting. We can join them and have good quality education delivered to these children here. Just to sum up, I would like to emphasize that as district collectors right now and head of district administration, our role more is to strengthen the government schemes which are being implemented, to use the technology platforms. They are already available. The government has made good technology platforms like e-district, and we have to see that they are optimally utilized. We have to monitor that the service delivery is time bound, and we have to converge and coordinate with different departments, because a lot of departments are on these platforms, but the usage has to increase both from the demand and the supply side. So that's it from my side. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Sharma ji, for a very comprehensive presentation and giving us an overview of your district. Thank you. Let us move to the next presenter. It's Ms. Keerthi Jalli from Cachar. She's the Deputy Commissioner there. She has been a recipient of SKOCH Award for a project Push. Last year, she single-handedly oversaw the construction of the ICU unit, COVID patients in the medical college, and saved number of lives. She led in from the front and told her family to leaving her people with number of cases were rising was not appropriate, as many 150 new cases were being added. Previously, she served neighboring area, where she is known for her remarkable work in the healthcare and women's welfare. Ms. Jalli, please take your presentation. Is she there?
Doesn't seem to be there, so
Good afternoon, sir.
She's there.
I'm just having a technical issue.
All right. Yeah, today Zoom is giving a lot of technical glitches. That's the reason,
I can
we're
see
able to have a clean conversation. Yeah.
a video is not coming.
Yes, sir. I'm just trying to rectify that. It was working earlier.
So while you rectify your video,
yeah, perhaps another panelist can speak and then.
Yeah, so we can move on to the next panelist, which is Mr. Jitendra Patil.
Sorry for the bother.
Bhushanji, you are muted. Yeah.
Mr. Jitendra Patil from Ahmednagar, Deputy Director, was earlier elected to serve a decades the Revenue Department, the arranged training programs throughout the district to enhance the employee performance. He believes that not only needs, but the skilled youth also need Patil, please carry on presentation.
First of all, good afternoon to everyone. Jitendra Patil sir is having some judicial matters. So on behalf of district administration and sir, I'm going to give an intro on this project. Our project was training and development, that is enhancing the project resulting into the good governance through training. The brief overview of the project is capacity building and improvement in the productivity and the government machinery through training purpose, training the employees and the officers dealing with the government machinery. The objective is to increase efficiency in the work and proper management and the delay getting the work procedures and all that to minimize the delay. Our target group was all the employees of state government throughout the Ahmednagar district, all the employees and the officials from the Ahmednagar district. Our jurisdiction is the Ahmednagar district. Before that, we faced many challenges in implementing the project. Like training was the first, before our project, training was not given or not implemented in the district or for the state government employees. We train the state government employees and officers. The challenges faced before deployment of the project were requirement of the funds. First of all, we face the challenges for the funds, venue for the conduct of training subjects and their trainers, the trainees' entries, behavior, logistic support, lodging and boarding of the trainees, training aids, training hall, computer lab, etc., and the supporting manpower too. Training-based knowledge post director, pre-planning of the training and during the training, post-training feedback mechanism, evaluation of the training and other activities. These were our challenges faced before the training. Before the pre-deployment of the training and development this project, our scenario was it has been observed that most of the employees from the department in the district are not fully aware of the laws and procedure act, rules and regulations which are being brought by the government. Government news policies such as RTI Act, right to services and all that were newly implemented in our district, but the employees or the are not aware of about all these laws and regulations. Lack of departmental knowledge, skills, attitude, motivation, leadership qualities, etc. Mental and physical problems, not as the problems, but they were not able to deal with the professional and the household. Some they were having some mental what we say stress management. They were not able to manage the stress at the work and as well at the home. So we specially designed some projects, training programs for these issues. Departmental training was not conducted earlier before we implemented the training project in our district. This our is an innovative work in the sector of the performance. Lack of knowledge in respect of IT applications like internet, emails, and sending and receiving or the working procedure of the computer. Coordination and team building within the employees. It was very important to coordinate the employees for good governance, and also to enhance the procedure, and in the lack of knowledge to keep record up to date. The record management was also a new subject. Before that, the subject was not implemented. While deploying the project, the exposure, and we conducted the TNA, training need analysis, for all the employees or for the target group. And in that training need workshop, we conducted 1-day workshop before implementing the project, and through which we came to know on the which areas we should conduct the training for these employees or officials, or which training areas they are needed. These training subjects were not imposed or selected by us, but the trainees itself. Brief description: exposure and study visit. We given the trainees hands-on all the standard operating procedures. We visited various organizations, training centers like Pune, Paitan, Aurangabad, and Nasik, which were already following the standard procedures. Then workshop for training need analysis for various cadres conducted to their training needs. On the basis of training design of the program, subject were decided. Training methodologies, training materials, and specialist finalization. We have master trainers for the specific subject. As in, not the same trainer are going to train all the subject, but for the specific subject, we have master trainers which are already trained and much experience, more than 15 to 20 years in the same subject, and they are being called by us and are invited to our academy for the training purposes. The motto is that the training.
Can I request you to
Yes.
start winding up, please? Can I request you to start winding up your presentation?
Okay. The subject. This was our pre-deployment scenario, and through which we delivered the training. The output was, there are quite good deal of improvement in the delivery of the subject. The delay has been avoided on account of ignorance of proper provision and procedures in respect of various subjects. Public at large is being properly educated about various requirements from their side, along with the provisions and purposes. It has led to transparency and speed, so public at large are satisfied at the end. And we are most of the employees are following the SOPs, standard operating system decided by the government, and are aware about the new rules and regulations. Our future roadmap for the project is induction of the training to newly joined class 3 employees, and also to the class 4 employees, because they are the first line whom the visitor visit to our offices. And refreshing
I guess
training.
In the interest of time, we already have overshot by 15 minutes.
Okay.
We have one more speaker to go.
Okay.
So I'll request the moderator to come back to you if the time so permits. In the meanwhile,
Yes. Yes.
Thank you very much for your plans which you have for the training. Can we move over to the next presentation? I hope you have been able to resolve your issues, Ms. Jalli.
Good afternoon, sir. Yes, I hope I'm visible and audible too.
Yes, please carry on.
Yes, sir. Thank you for this opportunity and warm wishes to all the panelists for a healthy new year. I'd like to briefly speak on the project that we are presenting today, which is Project Parvarish, which works on malnutrition and against malnutrition. Keeping in mind the short time that I have, one of the problems that we face in at the district level is convergence, and most importantly, the AAA convergence model, which is the ASHA, Anganwadi worker, and A&M. These three are more or less working for similar sectoral problems, but they never come together to work as a united force. So this is what we were looking for in terms of strengthening the fight against malnutrition. ASHA, of course, works on the health sector, Anganwadi worker with the children and the ICDS program, and the A&M in terms of vaccination and routine immunization, which is very essential for children. During COVID, I had taken over charge of Cachar district. A brief overview on the district. We are a stone throw away from Bangladesh. It's a valley that is cut off from all sides by Meghalaya, Manipur, Mizoram, and Tripura. So we have a strenuous relationship with Mizoram as well. We have border issues there. And in the midst of COVID, of course, because the district is largely spread out with various terrains across the district, there's been quite a hit on malnourishment, on child marriage, because of various reasons, of course, loss of livelihood, loss of opportunities to explore further. And this was something that was really beginning to worry us as to how to catch them young. The other thing that somewhere we also forget is that disability in children, if recognized early on, can actually be reversible. Quite a few disabled conditions can be reversible, be it cleft lip, be it clubfoot, be it, in fact, malnourishment, of course, also leads to quite a few mental diseases like cerebral palsy or dyslexia because of not having enough nutritional support. Now, Cachar district, we didn't want to reinvent the wheel with a whole new other project. We wanted something that doesn't take much budget, but involves the community. With regards to health, education, and malnourishment. This is where I think Parvarish really takes the lead. There was no budget allotted for this scheme. This was something that the district administration had taken up, keeping in mind that many children are suffering from malnourishment. Of course, the ICDS program gives us rice and dal, which ideally, theoretically on paper should work and should be effective. But for various reasons, these people are poor. And for various reasons of not having exposure, these kids do not get right food on time. And that is where we've decided to mobilize the community as a whole. And involving the GP president, who was never involved with subjects like nutrition or health, which was seen as not something that would get him much votes, to inspiring MLAs, MPs to adopt children in the sense of a donor drive, where it's not just money or it's not just giving SOPs, but most importantly that they participate, that they have discussion with the family, they visit these households, they discuss why the father is not able to provide food or why the mother is not able to give food on time, and then how to resolve these issues. So if there are ration card missing in the family, then we take up ration card arrangement. Any DBT schemes that the state or central government is taking up. If the father is a farmer, then we try and bring him under PM Kisan, PM Krishi Sinchai Yojana. These kind of convergence between various schemes we had taken up to strengthen the family, but most importantly, the exposure that was missing. That is what we, I think, brought closer to with the visits of, if an MLA is visiting a poor household to discuss specifically the subject of malnourishment, I think it does make quite an impact. And I think that is where we really scored big. It's become a moment now where people are discussing malnourishment actively. We've, of course, tried our hands with various fortifications, with more interesting recipes. We've had problems with early anemia in pregnant ladies. So we were trying to address that through, again, a discussion. We, of course, had issues with tea garden women getting married early. So we have now Uttaran groups which work under the same umbrella, where they're trying to catch them young. So these children also, in that sense, are not really adopted where they're away from their parents, but they're adopted as a community that comes together to fight malnourishment in these children. We also use technology as a platform. We have a website where any child can be adopted and donated with food or any specific item that you'd like to reach out to. And that technology platform has also helped us bring in some international sponsors as well. People who've left the district for various career options, who are abroad in London and UK and other countries. They had also reached out saying that we would like to be a part of this project. And successfully, since last September, Bhushan Ma, to this January that we're speaking in, we've managed to bring around 2,500 children out of malnourishment. Specifically this year, this portion, last 3 months, we're counting it as 800 children, which we have actual data and with full research done as well. The other thing that we're very proud of is that we've also, in that sense, reached out to these children, sorted out their disability issues. And we've sort of worked in bringing quite a few people out of those disability issues as well. So in this sense, dropouts have reduced. There's been more attendance in schools as well. And these families are then focused upon for various schemes as well. Because in a district of 22 lakh population that I have, it's hard to find out who's the actual most deserving. So more often than not, we end up, of course, disbursing schemes, but the target family-based approach, which is also family-centric and also community-centric, somewhere we lose sight of that. I think we are very proud of that. And because of this momentum, we're also very confident that if a probable third wave does hit us, we are prepared, our groups are ready, our portion panchayats are ready, our clubs are ready to donate. Our NGOs have already mobilized so much momentum in terms of donating, in terms of identifying these children who were earlier lost somewhere within the data and bringing them to the fore and making their story most important. So that has been truly a gratifying experience. And this is something that's truly brought a smile to all of us. And Parvarish in that sense has been a very wholesome care package for the children, for those particularly poor families. We've also given slippers to these tea garden women who work in the gardens where the worms enter their bodies and they spoil their stomach, where the food that they consume cannot be nutritious to their stomachs anymore. But through slippers, we've also prevented that kind of malnourishment within the mother, so that the child doesn't, isn't malnourished when it's born. So it's been a very great experience. And I'm also confident that the third wave, if it does hit us, that these groups have generated so much momentum. We have Uttaran Sakhis. We have these girls who are speaking actively on adolescent marriages that should be prevented. They have also taken up the issue of anemia. We have Amla Good Candy, which has been one of the things that I've always championed, that a mere medicine is hard to swallow, but if it's tasty and if it's something that's very local and traditional, this is the thing that we've brought in to fight anemia, which is Amla and Good, which of course is vitamin C and iron. This has helped us fight anemia as well. And the children are enjoying these recipes that are being shared. Most importantly, the community is now involved, invested in the future of the child. And that is what made it a big success.
Right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bhushanji, there is a special request from the collector, Vizianagaram, Surya. She wants to take just 1 more minute to make one last comment. If she's around, she can speak.
So thank you so much. This is actually not the conclusion comment, sir. I'm afraid there is a separate nomination of concept of bio village, but I wouldn't take more than 2 minutes to present that if I'm permitted.
1 minute, please, because we are between lunch.
Okay.
Yeah, you can take a minute.
Thank you so much. Thank you. The second concept from the district of Vizianagaram, we are presenting the concept of bio village. 1.5 minute I would take to tell the necessity of this bio village or the concept of the community natural farming is that tropically we are there in the rain shadow region wherein we get 1100 mm per annum on average, barring extremes. It's very less rainfall, and then there are no irrigation projects also as such. In future we are planning, but then right now we don't have any irrigable land. So all the farmers are dependent on the rainfall, and the soil nature also is light, and then we don't have that much of harvest, whatever we grow naturally, whether it is paddy or whether it is horticulture, cashew or mango, whatever you talk about, we are very, very like the minimal production is seen by the farmers. So this concept of community natural farming is introduced, and we are going a great way. It is introduced in one village in 2018, and going forward in 2022, the concept is getting escalated to almost 1,000 villages, and that is our high goal, I know, but still we are aiming at it. This is basically using the naturally available resources in your own village, be it leaves, be it daily usable, your kitchen ingredients. People may laugh at it, but it is as great as asafoetida and soya buttermilk. These are the ingredients which are used to counter the pests and fungicide, used as fungicides. And the cow population, which is there very much in the district, from them we take the panchagavyas, the cow dung, cow urine, which is from the beginning of the cultivation. We treat the seed, we prepare the soil, and then in lieu of the fertilizers and pesticide, we use these natural
we have largely understood the benefits of your submission. So thank you very much for sharing.
Thank you for
small
listening
bit of details. Wish we had more time to interact with you, but you're really very much behind schedule. So Mr. Mohan, you can conclude the discussion.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think Mr. Bhushan again is having some connectivity issue. So Bhushan, can you hear me? So let me take this opportunity and on your behalf close this discussion. It's been very invigorating, and such deeper insights into various parts of the country and the the kind of work which is happening at the district level. As I said, wish we had more time to interact with all the beacons of hope, but in the interest of time, we'll have to close this discussion. And my heartfelt thanks to all the participants, and with congratulations and also good wishes for the work, which is what they are doing at the grassroots. Please keep it up.